We are continuing to follow a developing story out of Tucson, Arizona. A U.S. congresswoman was among the victims of a gunman who went on a shooting spree. Gabrielle Giffords was making a public appearance outside the supermarket when a man ran up and opened fire. The Arizona Democrat was shot in the head and rushed to nearby University Medical Center.
She's in critical condition. The neurosurgeons have finished operating on her, and I can tell you at the current time period, I'm very optimistic about recovery.
But 6 others, including a child and a federal judge, weren't so fortunate. A gunman was tackled by a bystander and taken into custody as police swarmed the scene. President Barack Obama is among those condemning the bloodshed.
Our hearts go out to the family members of those who have been slain. We are going to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to get through this.
The Congresswoman is married to NASA's Captain Mark Kelly, who was scheduled to command the last flight of the space shuttle in April. The investigating into the shooting rampage centers around one man. The gunman has been identified as 22-year-old Gerald Loeffner. He is in custody tonight. We have learned that Loeffner used a 9mm pistol. Authorities are currently tracing the weapon to find out who owns it and where it was purchased. Federal law enforcement officials were poring over a MySpace page that belonged to Jared Loeffner. It included a mysterious "Goodbye Friends" published hours before the shooting. Loeffner may not have acted alone. Authorities may have a photo of another suspect. We will keep you informed as details come in. Here in the Bay Area, our state and local lawmakers are speaking out about the deadly shooting. Many of the elected officials we've spoken to knew the Congresswoman and are in shock and are upset by what happened. Our Scott Draper joins us live with reaction from some of those public officials. Scott, it's a somber day.
Certainly is, Serena. Former Congressman Jim Davis, Senator Bill Nelson, and friend and colleague Congresswoman Kathy Castor have all expressed their shock and prayers for Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. In a written statement, Congresswoman Kathy Castor said this about her friend and colleague, Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords of Arizona. "I am terribly saddened by this tragic event. Gabby and I were elected together in 2006, became friends, and served together on the Armed Services Committee." She went on to say, "It was a joy to be with her again this week as we were sworn in to our 3rd terms in the U.S. House of Representatives." Congresswoman Castor also mentioned how her family joined Giffords' family at the Kennedy Space Center when Giffords' husband, Captain Mark Kelly, commanded the liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery in 2008. Castor says she is praying for a speedy recovery. Senator Bill Nelson of Florida also spoke out and had this to say about today's tragic events.
Gabrielle is somebody that is a very vigorous, active member of Congress. If she disagrees with you, she'll get right in your face.
And former Congressman Jim Davis says he didn't know Congresswoman Giffords well, but the two had been members of some of the same groups. He says she was exactly the kind of person a community needs to represent them in Washington. Davis says she is well liked by constituents, but also by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle.
She's well liked by Democrats and Republicans. She's very talented. She's a hard worker, and hopefully she will recover from this. But we just don't know. It is a tragedy.
Now, local lawmakers also point out this brings to the forefront the issue of safety at public events, something that is sure to be discussed in the coming days. Serena?
All right. Thank you so much, Scott.